and the SEC sue Binance. The price of Bitcoin initiated a large dumpy candle big time, with many expecting this to happen eventually, as the SEC has been suing anyone that has even spoken the word crypto in the past 2 years. Will this dump get much bigger, or is something actually happening that will send price in a direction that no one expects? Right now, the Moon Boys are completely fiddled and diddled, as Bitcoin has dropped down to about $25,000-ish at the time of recording. But the big question is, will this go lower? And where can we expect to find some support? And more importantly, is this possibly a fake out? Or, in fact, a gigantic mommy makeout. So one of the first charts I want to look at is the GBM. And this indicator still, as I've been saying for like about the last month and a half, again, I still think the lowest price target we could anticipate here is the $23,000 to $25,000 range. And right now, at this very moment, we are dipping our tip into the beginning stages of that range, the $25,000, the high $25,000 range. And realistically, based on the GBM, the lowest we can go if we are to maintain any sort of bullish momentum is about $23,500-ish, around the $23,000 level, as we've been saying over and over. But right now, the reason we're getting this breakdown is because of this news of the SEC obviously suing Binance. And this is a long time coming. I think a lot of people were kind of anticipating this. In fact, over the past month or two, a lot of exchanges have been implementing KYC and everything like that because of what happened with FTX, and which they also were expecting was going to happen with Binance. And as of today, we have gotten that news. So not extremely unexpected. And with that being said, this dump so far is not, it's not crazy. Could we expect something much bigger down to the 23,000? I would think yes. If the Binance news is actually bad and the market actually takes it badly, then the target I'm looking at is honestly down to the 23. Again, this is news, so it could even bring us a little bit lower than that in a shorter wick, or in a quick wick. But we are now below the 21 or the 200-week moving average for the very first time, really. We've had a few little wicks over the past few weeks, but for the very first time since breaking above it back at the beginning of 2023, the very beginning. Now, this is news, and the news is being digested, so it is possible that this dump gets quickly bought up, and we actually have a pump more to the upside. But if that does happen, which I do think is likely over the next few days, we first need to see how quickly this dump brings us down, because I don't think the immediate short-term dump is necessarily over yet. And before we continue with more charts relating to crypto and Bitcoin, the stock market is doing very well today, up a pretty good amount, and we're going to be jumping into that also. But I do want to highlight Ethereum, Cardano, all these top alts, obviously also down because of this news. As you can see, we were kind of just straddling right along this level of support, and you can see what happened as soon as this Binance news broke. We got a dump. Now, this is the lowest that we've been since the middle of March, so that's big, and it took this Binance news to get us there. Now, we also need to highlight that we have been trading sideways here for quite a long time, nearly 3 months. We've been between about 26 to 30,000, roughly. The entire last 3 months, we've been within that same range, the sideways boringness. And now, this news, if it was 6 months ago, I think it would have brought us much lower. I don't think the dump is over just yet, and I'm hoping actually to see a big increase in volatility because of this. And realistically, as I tweeted earlier, if we're going to see Bitcoin break below 20K, it's going to be now. This is like the last chance. The only way that you can get really big dumps at this stage in the cycle, in my opinion, and based on what we've already endured in terms of all these other collapses and all the other macroeconomic conditions you can factor in as well, you need some really big fundamental news if you really want to see Bitcoin get completely dumped on. And I'm talking about really, really bad news if you want even a chance of getting below 20K. And for us to get to that 10K target that surprisingly some people are still promising is going to happen, then you need to think of everything, the worst things you can think of, and then multiply that by 10, because that's what that would take for that to happen. So very, very, very small chances for that. Will we even see 20K? Very unlikely. We have to see how this plays out. But we also have to keep in mind the SEC is suing everyone. But, I want to see, because of this news, if I was bearish, I would want to see at least 23,000 over the next day. if I really was shorting this thing and I really wanted to see this news actually have an impact, I want to see much lower than we've gone right now. Okay, because this is a big event. This is something you really want to take advantage of if you're bearish. Now, as we've been pointing out on the MMI indicator, again, massive moves when we come to this line. We had a little bit of a bounce sideways a little bit, but it looks as though, again, if we got that move down to the $23,000 level or something like that, that would absolutely validate once again that a massive move came off of this line. I personally think that we are going to see something massive over the next couple of days or even week or so anyway, but because of this news with Binance, I think that obviously the direction is more chosen for us, more likely to be down than it is to be up. But I'm still not super impressed really with this dump. Bitcoin is down, what, like 5% today? After trading sideways for the past 3 months, you would think this could get much dumpier, and it still could. You know, by the time I upload this, maybe it will. But I'm expecting if this news is really as bad as so many people think it is, then I think we should go a lot lower in the very, very short term. But again, it is news, and the market will digest it. And I think within a couple days, it will not be as big of a factor as people are maybe making it out to be right now. Remember, when breaking news happens, it always hits hardest at first, and then the market digests it. And as we've been talking about, again, we still have the same exact levels on here. That's why I said, you know, with this news, at the very least, I would expect the price to come down to this level around 23,000. If anything is going to get us there, negative news like this is the only thing that can. And I'm not even talking about 20K. I'm not even talking about 10K. I'm talking about just getting us down to 23K. So unless we get down to 23K, honestly, I'm kind of bored with this price action. We've been sideways for 3 months. We get news that the SEC is suing like the biggest exchange on the planet, Binance. And so far, we've seen Bitcoin dump like 4 or 5%. I want to see it dump a lot more if this news is to really have any impact on price. It's really just boring. It's very unlikely that we're going to be pumping in the next 24 hours because of this news, right? As I said, the direction is already chosen for us because of this news, down in the short term. But I want to see some more volatility for pizza's sake. The SEC is suing Binance and we're down like a couple percent. It's still so boring. And I would love to see, because again, in the long term, I'm still like bullish. I'm very bullish on this. But over the next week, obviously, we have to play by the rules, which we have to play by every once in a while. When FTX collapsed, for example, when Luna, UST, all that, this happens. I mean, this has been happening over the past year plus when we have these breaking news events that help bring us lower. This is just another one, and so far, I'm very, very, very unimpressed with the dump we've seen so far. You know, if this video gets uploaded and we have gone down to 23,000, then we can say, okay, this could maybe get exciting. This news is really driving the market. But right now, again, I honestly don't know how low the news will bring us. But all I'm saying is if it doesn't even take us down to the $23,000 level for Bitcoin, then it's almost like a non-event. It's almost just not even worth talking about. Nobody can predict exactly what price Bitcoin will go up to or go down to based on a single news event like we're seeing right now, especially because, again, that makes TA less valuable, and we have to look at, the event itself, although the TA still is, still very important. It's just a little less valuable. But overall, because of this news, you would think if I was shorting this right now and I saw this news and this is all we got so far, I would be very upset. I think, I'm in a short. SEC is going after Binance, and this is all we've gotten so far. I would really like to see a lot more if I was trying to make money on shorting this. And, we still could. But that's why I'm interested to see how this plays out and if we can hit those support levels that we've talked about in this video. And take advantage of massive bonuses below if you're interested in trading with BitGet or Femex below. Massive sign up and deposit bonuses simply by even just signing up with the links in my description below. Without further ado, it's for me.